Oh, hi there. Just enjoying the scenery. Welcome back to another NXT review, June 24th, 2020. Damian Priest was mocked by Cameron Grimes over, I guess, the flat tire incident and just straight up being mocked. Eventually Cameron Grimes beat up Priest in the parking lot to try to get him to not be able to compete in the match, which was pretty funny. And then getting to the ring and calling him out. Entertaining story between those two because it's just back and forth. Grimes is doing the same thing that Priest did to everyone else by hitting people and kneecapping them and stuff, which is funny. So there was that. Cameron Grimes did 2 cave-ins and won. Damian Priest's ribs were pretty bad. He was attacking his ribs the entire match, obviously. So going on from there, Robert Stone basically thanked Rhea Ripley for throwing him into the trash, and he spent more time in the trash than he did. It was just funny. If Robert Stone can actually wrestle, he's actually a really, really interesting and intriguing character. I really hope he can and does. He helped, he signed with Aaliyah. Rhea Ripley eventually fought Aaliyah in a match. She won. Basically beat up Robert Stone after the match again. There was the Thatcher Camp promo again with all his little wrist locks and his missing teeth. And he's pretty entertaining, I guess. From what's happening with Matt Riddle now and the whole allegations and everything, I guess Thatcher winning was a good thing. Still don't know what NXT is going to do about Velveteen Dream. His stuff is still online. His t-shirt's still online, which is a good sign for WWE fans. I mean, I'm not supporting him if he actually did do this. I'm just meaning good sign in terms of him still being on the roster. I don't condone any of the stuff that he's alleged having done. That being said, nothing's set in stone for that yet. Santos Escobar versus Jake Atlas. This was like a true luchador match, like old school WCW luchador match. I say WCW because it's all I can think of right now. ECW would probably be a way better example. Maybe not as high flying, more strength involved. Because they're like middleweight luchadors, so I would say. What did I say about Jake Atlas? He hits the ropes like perfectly timed hard, like if you're going like this and then you bounce the rope, so he'd go and then and like it's just perfect. I don't know how he does it, how it's perfectly timed every single time. Very good match. Fairly short. Could have been another 10 minutes, right, JP? Anyway, Santos Escobar hits the Phantom Driver and gets the 1-2-3 pretty clean. He had his goons help, I think, a little bit, so never going to really end. I don't think he's ever going to lose that Cruiserweight Championship either, so I kind of hope he just remains champion. I like that almost all the heels are champions except for Keith Lee. There's another really interesting story developing there in NXT. Everybody is a heel except for Keith Lee and is a champion. Pretty entertaining, although I guess they're making Io Shirai like a face now. Can't really tell. Hopefully not. Roderick Strong back in the trunk match. Figured out it was O'Reilly as the therapist the whole time, and they're like, dude, that's cool. High five, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle style. Trying to conquer Dexter Lumis. Basically gets he had a match with Dexter Lumis and got counted out. He basically just kept fleeing the ring. It was very entertaining. He got counted out. He left the match. He couldn't do the match. He's creeped out by Dexter Lumis, understandably so. But I love Dexter Lumis. They need to keep doing that. He needs to not ever say a word, because then he'll become Roman Reigns, and then no one will like him. I say that because, as our wrestling crew knows, at least most of them, Roman Reigns was awesome when he didn't say anything and put people through tables. And then he started talking and got shoved down our throats, and no one liked him. I don't want the same thing to happen to Dexter Lumis, because it could. People love him because he doesn't talk. Look at Braun Strowman started talking. Yeah, Braun Strowman's entertaining, but... Alright, so... Caden Carter... I don't know her first name. I just wrote Catanzaro. And Caden Carter versus Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. Typical Dakota Kai win, cheating. Gonzalez is actually really awesome. She can put people over pretty well and use her strength as an advantage and a disadvantage. More so an advantage. She can execute moves better. Disadvantage is she just grabs everyone and basically they don't have to work as hard if you're a high flyer. I respect it. It's cool. Let it continue. Okay, so Duke and Duchess of... Oh, the Duke and Duchess of Doom. I'm sorry. I was trying to read what I wrote yesterday. Karrion Kross and Scarlett are the Duke and Duchess of Doom, is what Amaro Ronaldo said. Kind of interesting. Oh, yeah, that was a lot of silence there. I apologize. I'm just trying to read my notes. Karrion Kross made short work of... I don't even know who he was... Oh, the Australian guy. I didn't write his name down. I feel kind of stupid. The thick boy. I guess that's his nickname. I forget his real name right now. Challenged him to a match last week. Sorry, guys. I'm human. We all forget and make mistakes. I could have Googled it, though. Basically, you can tell Karrion Kross likes pain. In this match, he got tossed around quite a bit and kicked around quite a bit, and it fueled him. It made him stronger, like any normal, crazy person would. His gimmick is awesome. He's getting shot to the moon with his push. I hope it continues. Eventually, we're going to have a heel versus heel match. You saw that teased when Scarlett put the hourglass in the ring with Adam Cole freaking out, holding his belt like a small child. Yeah, Karrion Kross loves pain. During the Rhea Ripley versus Aaliyah match, Robert Stone threw a shoe. And I don't know who said it, but no, I think it was Beth Phoenix said, "Who throws a shoe?" Which, of course, is an homage to the Austin Powers movie. Honestly. Right, already talked about the Strong vs. Lumis match. There's apparently some kind of NXT strap match. I don't know why I wrote that. Maybe that's happening next week, or what a strap match is, or I don't know. NXT is doing like a Great American Bash style thing, which is, I guess, pretty cool. More of that to be continued. Match of the evening: Johnny Gargano, Keith Lee, and Finn versus Johnny Gargano versus Keith Lee versus Finn Balor. The match was very entertaining. Keith Lee came out the victor because if he lost, I would have been very upset. He's just an all-strength, all-physical, all-super pro guy. I really, really, really love Keith Lee. I hope he never loses. May he remain champion for the rest of this decade. I wouldn't care. He could become bad and I would still love him. Yeah, so then that sets up the match for next week. Winner take all, Adam Cole versus Keith Lee. I don't know who's going to win, but someone has to win. I was also thinking like it could end in a draw and they could save it for their version of SummerSlam, or kind of a best 2 out of 3 falls match or something. Again, they're kind of trying to compete with AEW because AEW's got Fyter Fest next week, and they decided to be like, oh, it's not just NXT this week, it's the Great American Bash. Oh, we're cool. No, I like it. I mean, hopefully they have the stage stuff set up like they did for the In Your House pay-per-view. More on that to be continued. But, yeah, that's it. Keith Lee is a monster. They basically constantly put Keith Lee in a headlock. I'm sorry that I kind of ended it and then went back into the match. They basically put Keith Lee in the various headlocks and jumped on top of him, and he still prevailed. And Grizzly Magnum someone, which is like the slap to the chest. He crossbodied both of them at one point in the match from the apron to the ring, which is really awesome. Keith Lee, always be you. We love you. That concludes this version of my NXT review, because I'm in my work parking lot and I gotta go to work in like 5 or 10 minutes. But have a good day, everyone. Till next week.